Many times people say the energy you put out, you get, etc., etc. The energy you are, you get out, or you get back, etc., etc. But whoops, one sec. But I tend to believe in something a little more simpler. See, a person who meditates will never understand a person who goes to the club and pub. Maybe that's just the way it's meant to be. A person who enjoys small crowds may not enjoy a festival or a concert where a bunch of people are just losing themselves to the music, Like, you gotta always know what you want before you jump into something. I was always a spiritual person and I never really connected with people to exploit from them. But you have a lot of people nowadays who exploit till the point of no return. And when your energy is high, you tend to get a lot of shit tests. Let me explain. A shit test is basically someone testing you to see if you are real or not, to see if you know yourself enough to outburst or to cause a catastrophe. And it's not really an ego thing, but it's like after a certain level of self discovery, you realize you need to actually calm down. You need to actually have an ego in order to say no. You have to have a built in alternative ego to like say no to the things that don't matter. And you can really find a lot of ignorant people on planet Earth, people who don't allow another person to be free, people who aren't allowed to live in the present moment as it is, people who teach you languages and problems, and basically all of education is usually just mind control, brainwashing. And it comes to the point where anyone can really gaslight anyone. How do I know that this curtain is red? For fact, because I can see it. But if someone else comes into this room, they would say this curtain is pink, and our arguments would be valid to the point that it is. But in the end of the day, a curtain is a curtain, regardless of its shade. And yeah, red and pink are pretty close by, but you get the point, right? Debates are never a good way to really express yourself. And shit tests are this kind of the same thing as gaslighting, like someone comes up to you and tests you on your heart. It can get personal, when like someone really doesn't care for you that much, but they're in fear that something might happen, so they add that caring energy to almost take care of you. Oh my God, this guy does not know what he is doing, so let us just shit test him and gaslight him until the point that he comes in our control. Truly, in life, it's all about control. That's why I find living alone or being in solitude more comforting and more gratifying, because it's like when you're around a bunch of dumb fucks, even in school, when you're around a bunch of nutcases, you are gonna be potentially the next nutcase, whether you like it or not. Energy is contagious, and if you are around a bunch of nerds or a bunch of street smart people playing their cards right, you will be that. So it's like, don't expect everyone to be a lotus. Not everyone is a lotus. Some people are just sunflowers, and some people are just ganja flowers. Some people are just any flower. Like, it don't matter. It's just that the not everyone is a lotus. Not everyone can thrive in a place that is not made for that certain amount or type of thriving to happen. So stay grounded. Don't do too much. Don't push things further than they have to go. The biggest fear someone can ever do to you is is the biggest fear someone can ever do is gaslight you. That's what you should be afraid of. Someone making you go mad, thinking that you need medicines, that thinking that you need help. But in reality, let shit play out. Let them look in the mirrors afterwards. I mean, I've had it happen so many times that people thought I was going psychotic, but but in reality, spiritual people are the billionaires because they have lived. They are living. And to live like you're gonna die tomorrow is like, it doesn't mean shit. To live like I'm gonna die now, that's how I want to live my life. Put the death aspect away. Like, but live so deeply that you're willing to exist in the here and now and exploit it without that fragrance of exploitation. You don't want to be exploiting your own life. You want to be in it to win it, you know? It doesn't matter. Obviously, money rules the world, blah, blah, blah. Women rule the world, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Politicians rule, blah, blah, blah. It don't matter. It really don't matter. In the end, how do you feel? In the end, what makes you want to get up out of bed and do what you want to do? That's real spirituality. And that really no one can teach for you, because if they can teach it for you, trust me, they don't know what they're talking about. It has to be experienced. I learned this all by living with my uncles, just by observing. This was when I was little. I was just observing them, seeing how they did. And they were always in that spiritual zone of solitude, but they loved so deep that it worked out. Their lifestyle was very peaceful. And you know, around most of the people aren't peaceful. They don't have that amount of peace. If you are so peaceful, they'd say it's lazy. If you are so motivated, they say you're a nutcase or you're doing too much. So it's about finding the harmony in between and never taking a shit test seriously. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Just stay safe.